Every year I love seeing how many books I have on my physical TBR still. I like to see what books I need to be reading in the next year in order to keep my TBR feeling like something new and fresh and exciting for me. So I make this video where I hold up every single book and I say the book title and tell you that I haven't read it yet. This is completely inspired, if not honestly a complete copy of Becca and the Books, who does this every single year on her channel. It's one of my favorite videos that she does. So I'll leave hers linked down below for you to check out. This is the first person I ever saw do it and I was like, yes, I like that video. I'm gonna do it too. Definitely credit to Becca, who is constantly inspiring us. She's one of my favorite channels. To go along with this video, Becca asks you, and I also ask you, to comment down below in the comments any books you want to see me read. You can comment one book per comment, or you can comment multiple books per comment, and at some point throughout the year, I will randomize some of these comments and I will pick books to read based off what comment was picked. Just to help me get this TBR down more. Actually, this year I'm doing pretty good. I unhauled a lot last year. I really started to focus on what I wanted to bring in. I wanted to spend less money on books. I wanted to really bring in books that I was either really excited about or had already loved. I really want my library going forward to be something I'm very proud of, something that like has all the things I love on it or things that I'm really excited about, and not have books that sit on my shelves for years. And there's definitely a problem. We definitely have some of those. I need to find a way to read them, some sort of video project, because there's a shelf that I say books go to die on, because I don't look at that shelf ever, and I need to make my way through them. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Let me think for a second. Let me just drink my coffee. Really focused on what I was bringing in. And so I actually think this year my number is not huge. I, for the first time, know what it is. Normally I go into this completely blind, but I actually made a spread in my reading journal so that I could keep track of everything that I owned before the year and see how well I do at reading my physical TBR from the year. So I'm really excited to see that progress in a visual format. I think it'll really help me stay on top, because there's something about coloring something in that gives me such enjoyment and like want to color it in that I have to read books from it. So I'm hoping that this keeps me on task. Anyways, as I said, please comment down below any book titles. Spam me with comments. Do not worry. Hope you enjoy seeing everything on my TBR. I think if we go back a couple years, my TBR has very much changed, but there are still a few that have been on there for a very, very long time. We're gonna start off on this shelf, which is actually probably the best shelf. I think it goes downhill from there, but the shelf has mostly things I've read. But let's get right on into it. We have The Blood of Dragons and Fool's Assassin by Robin Hobb, The Heresy Within by Rob J. Hayes, House of Earth and Blood, House of Sky and Breath, and House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, The Empire's Ruin by Brian Stavley, Rune and Wrath by John Gwynne, A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan, Sons of Darkness by Gaurav Mohanty, The Book That Broke the World and The Girl in the Moon by Mark Lawrence, Words of Radiance and Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, Queen of Shadows and Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, The Warrior's Path and the Third Crossing by Karim Solomon, Revenant Prince by T.A. Hernandez, The Fall of the Giants and the Return of the King by Gregory Kataxis, The Pale Blade by Alec Hudson, Cold from the North by D.W. Ross, Flames of Mira by Clay Harmon, Soul Cage by L.R. Schultz, The Storm Beneath the World by Michael R. Fletcher, Of Thieves and Shadows by B.S.H. Garcia, Seeds of War by Joey F. Silva, No Heart for a Thief by James Lloyd Doolin, The Obelisk Gate and the Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin, Griever's Blood and Blacklight Born by Alexander Darwin, We Ride the Storm by Devin Madsen, Parasite by Darcy Coates, Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson, Finley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Cosimano, Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller, Flawless, Heartless, and Wild Love by Elsie Silver, A Crown of Ivy and Glass by Claire Legrand, A Broken Blade by Melissa Blair, Reign of Shadow and Endings by Melissa K. Rowick, Ash and Feather by S.M. Gaither, The Timeless Trials by A.C. Guess, Falling into the Forbidden, which is a short story collection by a bunch of authors, Shattered Vow and the Monstrous Power by Eva Chase, Feral Blood, Kings of Moonlight, Royal Mate, and Secrets of Winter by Eva Chase, A Game of Veils by Eva Chase, Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale, The Awakening, Ruthless Fae, and Savage Fae by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti, Blood Price, Blood Union Part 1, Blood Union Part 2 by Villa Roth, Beneath Black Sails by Claire Sager, A Promise of Fire by Amanda Bouchette, A Trial of Sorcerers by Elise Kova, Ashes of Chaos by Amelia Hutchins, To Carve a Feyheart by Tasana Odette, To Bleed a Kingdom by Ella Dawes, Lore of the Wilds by Annabelle Sabrana, Sanctuary of the Shadow by Aurora Asher, An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson, The Half King by Melissa Landers, Into Their Woods by Ivy Asher and Anne Denton, and The Oseas Chronicles by Ivy Asher, The Stone Knife by Anna Stevens, The Raven Tower by Anne Leckie, The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu, Daughter of the Empire by Raymond E. Feist and Janie Wirtz, The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, The Obsidian Tower by Melissa Caruso, A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, A Shadow in the Summer by Daniel Abraham, Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Eames, The Thousand Name by Django Wexler, Scorpica by G.R. McAllister, Empress of the Fall, and Prince of the Spear by David Hare, Confessions by Kane Minato, 10 by Gretchen McNeil, Goblin by Josh Mallerman, The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, Small Horrors and The Haunting of Blackwood House by Darcy Coates, The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead, Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy, The Return by Rachel Harrison, The Vacation, The Minders, and The Marriage Act by John Mars, The Loop by Jeremy Robert Johnson, Silver Nitrate by Sylvia Marino Garcia, Last to Leave the Room by Caitlin Starling, Heads Will Roll by Josh Winning, Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle, Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel, The Eyes Are the Best Part by Monica Kim, Slewfoot by Brom, A Time of Dread, A Time of Blood, A Time of Courage by John Gwynne, Soul Keeper, and The Bladed Faith by David Douglas, Kagan the Dam by Jonathan Melbury, The Pariah, and The Martyr by Anthony Ryan, The Golden Enclaves by Naomi Novik, Ship of Smoke and Steel, City of Stone and Silence, Siege of Rage and Ruin by Django Wexler, The Hunter's Gambit by Ciel Perlot, Between Life and Death by Jacqueline Cott, Dragon's Kiss by E.A. Winters, Worthy of Fate by A.N. Caudle, and City of Gods and Monsters by Kayla Edwards. Truly, I think I've done better this year than any other year at having a small TBR. I would like to keep it under 100 next year, so that is my goal. I feel like around 100 is like a doable amount of books for me. I read over 100 books in a year, but obviously I'm going to be reading new releases and bringing things in, and I don't want to limit myself to only having to read my physical TBR, but I still would like to have a pretty good physical TBR. So I think around 100, preferably under, but like where we are now, I'm not mad at the amount that I have. However, I do know that as I continue reading, as I love more books, I'm gonna run out of shelf space and my TBR needs to get smaller and smaller, which is kind of just disappointing. And a really disappointing part about reading is that our hobby and our collecting of books will just always get bigger and never get smaller, and how am I supposed to deal with that? I just have to keep adding more bookshelves. They actually no longer make this color, so I'm stuck with these until I move out, and then I plan on doing like white bookshelves. I think I want like a whole room, a whole wall. But I wanted to get this one because it's only like a mini one. I did want to get a full one. I've been scouring Facebook Marketplace for it because IKEA no longer makes this color, which is really disappointing. Because yeah, I could put a full one there instead of a half. I just keep kicking my parents' books out because they used to have books here and now they're hidden. They're like behind my books. Anyways, if you want to continue seeing what I plan on doing in the new year, I'll leave my 2025 goals on the screen for you to check out. This kind of goes over my overall game plan, the vibes I want to bring into 2025, which is just good vibes. We want good vibes in 2025, good ratings, good vibes, everything like that. Make sure to leave your comments down below saying whatever books you want me to read, because when I do a video, I might get lucky and land on your comment and read whatever you tell me to read. Please be nice to me or be really mean to me in order to help me get my TBR down. I feel like I'm DNFing this year, so landing on some meaner spaces could be good for me because I will hopefully get rid of that book because, you know, yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling, so have yourselves an absolutely remarkable day.